Test. Dengar tak?
Testing. Dengar Fatin?
Dengar Kak Batin.
Alhamdulillah.
Testing. Dengar tak?
Kak Dina
Ah,
dengar.
okay. Clear tak?
Clear. Good luck Kak
Alright.
Dina.
Okay.
All the best,
Good.
Dina.
Good luck Fatin.
Sama.
Tentang teacher.
Okay. Nak testing kamera sekejap.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Okay, I would like to apologize. There's some delay with the event due to technical issue with one of our panelists. Okay, hope we can wait for her for a while. Thank you, and so sorry for the inconveniences. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the third FPV webinar series 2001, organized by the Academic Language Studies Universiti Teknologi Mara UiTM Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, Kuala Pilah Campus. I am Fatin, your MC for today's webinar, and our moderator for this session will be Miss Siti Dina Muhammad Ali. Our topic for today is Global Perspective on Online Learning. Before we get started, I'm going to go through some housekeeping matters as a reminder. First of all, kindly turn off your microphone and camera throughout the session. Then, if you have any queries, please type your questions in the chat box for Cisco WebEx and comment section for YouTube Live. Ms. Dina will be attending to the question during Q&A session. Lastly, the attendance link and QR code for your e-certificate will be provided at the end of this webinar. For UiTM staff, training hours will be provided. Please do not forget to scan the QR code. Before we begin our session, let me first introduce our guest speakers for today. Our first speaker, Ms. Azizah Oktavia, Bachelor of English Language Education. She is from Universitas Pahlawan, Tuanku Tambusai, Indonesia. Our second speaker, Miss Tasnin Athirah, Abdul Faizul, Diploma in Textile Technology from University Teknologi Mara UiTM Negeri Sembilan. Our third speaker, Miss Nurul Allia Binti Abdul Malek, Degree in Food Technology, University Teknologi Mara Cawangan Negeri Sembilan. And finally, our last speaker, Miss Selvi Oktavia, Bachelor of Nursing from Universitas Pahlawan, Tuanku Tambusai, Indonesia. I'm pretty sure by now, we really look forward to hearing all our speakers for today, sharing their views and experience regarding online learning. Therefore, without further ado, I will hand over the session to our moderator, Miss Siti Dina Muhammad Ali. All yours, Dina.
All right, thank you, Ms. Fatin. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Siti Dina, the moderator for today's webinar. It is an honor to welcome our panel speakers from Universitas Pahlawan Tuanku Tambusai, Indonesia, Selvi Oktavia and Azizah Oktavia. And it is also an honor to welcome Tasnin Athirah Faizul and Nurul Allia Abdul Malek from University Teknologi Mara, Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, Kampus Kuala Pilah. We are so glad that you could be here today to share your insights on a topic entitled A Global Perspective on Online Learning. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our speakers is having some technical problems at the moment, but we shall proceed the session as usual. Without further ado, let's begin our first question of the session with Miss Azizah Oktavia. Azizah, in your opinion, does online learning enhance your technological literacy or technical skills? Yes, Azizah. Azizah, can you hear me? All right, can you hear me? We are so sorry. It seems that I cannot hear you clearly. We cannot hear you clearly. All right, is there any problem with your speaker? Yes. It's okay, take your time. Okay. Not really. Not really clear, Azizah. It's okay. All right, okay, sure. Maybe we shall proceed with next speaker first. Is that okay with you? And then we'll get back to you later. Okay? All right. So, yes, okay. Right, so basically our next question is actually meant for Tasnin. Okay. All right. Tasnin, apart from Tasnin, are you here?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Tasnin, apart from technological literacy or technical skills, which skills do you think is critical to succeed in online learning?
Well, based on my experience, I find that effective time management skills is the biggest success to online learning. If I don't manage my time, I always find myself stuck in a pile of work to do with no motivation at all. A super helpful tip is to keep a planner or even a study schedule, but I prefer planner. But it's also always hard to stay disciplined with these kind of things. So I motivate myself by using check boxes instead of just writing down when to do each task because it is more satisfying. See all the boxes checked. I only started doing this uh, when I started my diploma, and it's one of the best decisions I have ever made for my studies. Next tip is to break down your tasks and make them more specific. Instead of putting down read at 9 p.m., put down read chapter 2 for subject Z at 9 p.m. Or another example is if you see a task like do assignment A, you might be demotivated to do it because it seems to take too much time. But if you say, oh, I will do the cover page and the introduction, it always seems less daunting. The point is to have clear sections and tasks to do to make it simpler. Because sometimes what put us off is actually not knowing what to do and when to start. Other than that, you should approach your study days with planned time study sessions and breaks. A well-researched way of approaching this is the Pomodoro technique, which most of you might already know, which involves 25-minute work sessions followed by 5-minute breaks. You can change it up according to your needs and wants, and also do it in cycles. So plan out your day into these time sessions and study breaks, and stick to that plan, and you'll find yourself less prone to becoming distracted. Other than time management, effective and appropriate communication skills is also very necessary. Personally, I find talking online harder than face-to-face because sometimes you can't really tell the tone of someone's words through text, or even on calls, if you can't see their facial expressions, you might even get the wrong impression of what they are trying to say to you. Becoming a productive online learner includes asking questions from instructors and lecturers, and this, of course, comes more naturally when you have these skills. So reach out to them in polite and courteous ways, and always say thank you and apologize for taking up their time. Do engage in class by making an effort to ask and answer questions to enhance your understanding of the course material and build a bond. Also, just because you aren't physically in the same location doesn't mean you can't get to know your fellow classmates. Build relationships with other students because your peers can be a valuable resource when preparing for exams or asking for feedback on assignments and group work. Because students who take time to engage with their instructors and classmates also tend to have the most success in classes. So I believe those two are quite important in succeeding for online learning.
Like, all right, thank you so much, Kasin. I particularly like your comment on planner just now. It seems like you are an organized person. Okay, all right, we shall get back to Azizah Oktavia. Okay, Azizah, are you there? Azizah? Azizah? Oh, Azizah, is that all right? Can you test out your I shall rating a bit. But I'll post the question, all right, and then see how it goes. All right. Okay. This is question. Okay. Azizah. In your
So sorry, Dina. I'm so sorry. It's Dina.
So technological that experiencing some technical
Dina? Dina, actually, yours is so unclear. I think the internet connection is the problem.
All right. Okay, Fatin,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes. Now I think it's clear.
How about this one? How about this? Is this okay?
Yes, I can hear you
Fatin?
clearly, Dina.
Much better? Is all right. Okay, thanks,
Yes.
Fatin. All right. All right. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so okay, Selvi is here. We have Selvi here in the room. Selvi, how are you? Okay, maybe you would like to pose a question to Azizah.
Hello. Can you hear my
Hi,
voice?
Selvi. Hello.
Is it my video
We
started or
can hear
not?
your voice, but
Oh, my
we
video
cannot see
started.
you. Your
Okay.
yes.
Wait a minute. I'm really sorry because there's a little technical.
Selvi, have you turned on your camera?
Yes, I'm trying,
Have
but
you turned on your
just can't.
okay? Selvi,
Yes.
okay. Right.
Is it my
can you hear
camera
me?
on now? Is it my camera's on now or not?
It's okay. It's okay, Selvi. You may proceed without the camera on. Is that okay with you? As long as I can hear your voice clearly.
Is it okay? Wait.
Okay. Okay. Should be okay.
Wait. Is it my camera's on now?
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Selvi, I think you can proceed. Okay. So okay, Selvi, it's okay. We are going to proceed with you. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Selvi Oktavia. Supposedly, she will be the first speaker for today's session. Okay. All right. Selvi, I'm going to pose a question. Okay. For you to respond. All right. Selvi, what has your online learning experience been like as a student?
Okay, I'll answer. So my online experience as a student is actually not really bad, and also it's not really good either. So um
Selvi? Selvi?
I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Selvi, just
I just
proceed.
started.
Okay, you don't have to turn on your camera. Okay. Did you hear my question just now?
So my experience as a student. Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, good.
I'll just go
Okay.
with my answers.
Yeah. Just proceed.
So my experience as a student during online learning is actually really good, but not so good. I mean, like, so in the first day when I get to know that we're going to have online learning, I felt so excited because I thought it was a free holiday for me, but then I was wrong. Later, I felt so tired and exhausted because I faced a lot of troubles in it. Yeah, the first troubles that I found was the internet connections problem, I just had right now. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, the camera is just not responding. The sound's not clear, or it's just breaking up, or it's some kind of connection issues like that. Yeah, I found it a lot, like right now, and I'm so really sorry because of that. And the second is that I have to learn the new applications like Zoom, this Webex, and others applications for my learnings and for my assignment. And then the last one is that I spend too much internet data for the applications like Zoom and others like applications like that. But thankfully, now we get free internet data from the Ministry of Education and Culture of Indonesia. We get like 10 to 20 gigabytes each month. And I think that internet data is actually not really a big deal right now. And however, there is some benefit and something that I like based on my experience on this online learning. Things that I like was that it's really efficient. That is, it's really efficient that we don't have to commute on a bus or our motorcycle to the from my house to the university for a lecture. It's kind of that. It's really efficient now. We can just open up our laptop and then just go ahead with the meeting, and it don't waste a lot of time, like right now. And then things that I like is that we can learn things at our own pace. And when the lectures are online in a video format, we can skip ahead and then we can skip back, and I think that has a lot of control over our studies. But me as a nursing student, we have like two types of learnings. The first one is theoretical, and then the last one is practical learnings. Theoretical learnings we do it online, but for the practical learning, we do it once we go to the campus for practical learning. We go to nursing practice and to our nursing laboratory. And of course, not forgetting about the health protocol. We also follow that before we get to campus. So everything will be clean and sterilized before we get into the campus. So I think that's just my experience. We do blended learnings for nursing students. We do blended learnings. And I think I kind of like online, but I prefer more face-to-face in classroom meeting. I think that's just my opinion.
Thank you, Selvi. I believe that we do experience the same problem and issues here as well, right? Okay, thank you for sharing your experience just now. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Okay, we shall have Allia, okay, to answer this question. Okay, well, online classes are conducted in two ways, right? Asynchronous learn on their own schedule, for instance, through pre-recorded video lectures and tutorials, and synchronously in a live virtual meeting room where students and lecturers meet together to communicate. Allia, which one do you prefer between the two? Asynchronous or synchronous way, and why?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dina, for the question. And good afternoon, everyone. To be answering the question, for me personally, I prefer a live virtual meeting where students and the lecturers meet together to communicate. Of course, there are advantages and disadvantages on both ways, but since I have experienced both asynchronous and synchronous learning, I found that synchronous learning gives you the advantage of having the communication between the participants. And that's what I really love about it. So for example, let's say if I have any questions or I need something to clarify on during the live session, I could simply ask away. I could simply ask my lecturer on the spot and get the answers directly. And since I am more to a face-to-face discussion kind of person, I need to have that active response. I need to have that immediate responses, and I need to have the conversation going in between the peers. If I were to watch pre-recorded videos and I have to list down all my questions or things that I need to clarify on, I think I will most probably ended up forgetting about it. So I will just stick with synchronous learning instead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Allia. All right. Well, class. There is two-way communication between the students and that take place, right? Okay, we shall get back, okay, to our Azizah. Okay, we'll see whether, hi Azizah, Azizah Oktavia. Azizah, can you hear me? Azizah, are you still there? Okay, all right, Azizah Oktavia. Azizah, can you? Okay, I think Azizah is still having some technical problems, okay, with her computer. We shall proceed with Tasnin, okay? Okay, Tasnin.
Yes.
Okay, so we shall proceed with Tasnin this time. Okay, right, just a second. Okay, this question on Tasnin, all right. Basically, this question is on motivation, all right? Speaking on motivation, Tasnin, what is your motivation in maintaining your focus and interest in online learning activities?
Thank you for the question. Honestly, maintaining
Uh,
focus and interest is always hard, especially when you're learning online when no one is there to monitor you. I have my ups and downs, but a few things that motivate me to stay focused is to have interim goals with rewards, meaning goals that are in that specific period of time. Goals like I want to have good grades so I can work is not necessarily very motivating right at this moment, but goals like I want to focus on this activity until it's done. And if I succeed, I can have a bowl of Maggie, or maybe I can watch an episode of something I love. Everyone is different, and you will need to work out whether you are better with a small reward daily or after each task, a rather bigger reward saved up for the week or month. So suitable rewards include time off and treats, but they should be things that you really want to keep yourself motivated. Set yourself a budget ahead of time if necessary. And in the long run, you might be even enjoying your study sessions and find completing those learning activities to be far more bearable. Other than that, I am also motivated to maintain focus and interest when I imagine myself in situations that are the outcome of my doings. Because sometimes being at home for so long, you lose track of time. It's almost as if you're just floating around it. You forget that just because you can procrastinate now with no consequences doesn't mean you won't cry about it in the future. So imagine yourself crying because of a bad grade, or imagine everyone found the test easy except for you. Or you can imagine yourself rich with a good job because you studied hard, and imagine yourself making your parents proud. Whichever pushes you to stay focused. And maybe even put a little reminder in front of you during class on a sticky note. And last but not least, it's easier to study with someone else, but not just anyone, because it can be quite distracting if it is someone you constantly talk to and chat with. So why not go to YouTube since you are already on your computer and search up those plenty of study with me's on YouTube? Because many people swear by this technique, and the number of study with me YouTube videos is clearly an indication of their popularity. They motivate you, hold you accountable to finish up the time with them, and you might even have fun. So really, there's no harm in it. So why not give it a try if you're struggling to stay focused during study sessions? And if it doesn't work for you, at least you tried. But remember that motivation doesn't last as long as you want it to be, and you can only count on self-discipline at the end of the day. It's okay to acknowledge that you are losing track and pick yourself back up.
All right. Thank you, Tasnin. All right. It's good that you pointing just now. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have Sophia Jasmine Muhammad Zahir to replace Azizah Oktavia. Okay, since Azizah is having technical problems at the moment, so we shall have Sophia Jasmine as a representative for Azizah. Sophia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right, Sophia, I shall repeat the question. This is Azizah's question just now. Okay. All right. I shall repeat the question. Yes. Okay. Sophia, in your opinion, does online learning enhance your technological literacy or technical skills? If so, what kind of technological literacy or technical skills that you have managed to enhance?
Okay. For me personally, as a microbiology student, it's actually a lot of things that I have learned about. So for example, I'm not really like very technical person. So when online classes happen, I got to introduce to Google Classroom, maybe Microsoft Teams. Like Microsoft Teams is something that I'm not very familiar with, and that's where my lecturers like to, have classes. So with that, I also got to learn, using like Kisco, WebEx, and it does help me get to know more about the, how do I say this? More of the like technological stuff, because before this, when you're in class, you don't really use all of this stuff. You just come to class and then meet with the lecturer face to face. But then this time, you do have to know a bit more about the technology that you're using. So maybe there's some technical problems that's going on. Maybe your Wi-Fi connection is gone. So then for myself, I found a certain way that makes I found a way to make that problem go away. So I kind of get into the technological details. So that really helped me for it. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sophia. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sophia. Yes. We learned improve a lot during this, right? Since we are able to learn, okay, many apps and softwares to assist in our learning itself. Okay. All right. We shall proceed with Selvi. Okay. Selvi, let's find out more about aspect of online learning here, Selvi. In your opinion, Selvi, which aspect of online learning have you found least engaging? And what is the one thing that you would want your lecturers to do to make it more engaging?
Okay, so in my opinion, the thing that I found least engaging is that when a lecturer just give assignment us to do, sometimes they don't even give us an explanation about it first. They just give an assignment first. And then the second thing that I found is engaging is that some lecturers has a very basic understanding of technology. Sometimes they don't have necessary resources to conduct their learnings, and it makes the learnings feels boring. Sometimes they still use the traditional teaching method and give us recitation, and which is kind of boring, and there's so much lack of participations of us because yes, some of the students doesn't put the cameras on or doesn't put their mic on, and it feels least interacting. And the thing that I want my lecture to make it more engaging is that I hope that they can, before we jump into a new material, I hope they give an explanation about it first and in a second. And I really hope that they can leave a video record of they streaming the class after they give it explanation, so that people who might have problem with their connection can see the stream right after. And then the third thing that I want my lecturers to do is to make a podcast if they can, so that we can listen to it every time, and it also helps some auditory learners to memorize things easily. And the last thing that I really hope that my lecturer would do to make it more engaging is that I hope that they can use that more technology in it, so that when we're having a quiz or an assignment, we can feel a little bit fun of it by using applications like Kahoot, Quizlet, and other applications like that. That's just my opinion. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Selvi. Okay. Yeah. It seems like you are also tech savvy as well. Okay. So since you mentioned about few apps, okay, that can be used, okay, to enhance our learning, our online learning session later on. All right. Thank you, Selvi, for sharing with us just now. Okay. So we shall proceed with the next speaker. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So we shall have Azizah. Okay. For next question, actually, accordingly. All right. Maybe we can try out this time. Azizah, can you hear me? Azizah?
I can hear you, yes.
All right. Okay. I will be posting the question. Okay. See if you can hear the question and respond. Okay, Azizah?
Okay.
All right. All right. Azizah, what are the challenges you face with online learning so far?
Okay, thank you, Miss Dina, for the questions. I'm sorry for making you waiting so long. Okay. For me, online learning is a new thing. I do believe that some of Indonesian students also feel the same. Of course, I face some challenges, and maybe I can tell that there are external and internal challenges. And let's talk about the external challenges first. The first challenge is, I think, the online learning media. And because sometimes I use Zoom and sometimes I use Moodle, and Zoom meeting has a limited duration, and sometimes it's not appropriate with the material that given by the lecturer. And if the time is over, we need to make a new link for new meeting to continue the session, and it takes a bit time to wait every participant to join the new meeting, and it makes the learning process not effective sometimes. Also, maybe there are my friend uh, who forgot to mute the microphone, so we can hear every noisy sound in the meeting, and it makes me difficult to focus on the material that being explained by the lecturer, and makes me miss some important points conveyed by the lecturer. And for Moodle, there is no notification because I use the web form of Moodle, and it makes me don't get the notification of new material or upcoming assignment. And the second is distraction or home situation. Because I learn at home, the home situation can be one of the challenges that I face through online learning. Sometimes my mom or my family forgot that I'm in online learning time, and they called me or knocked my door. But lately I find a way to solve this problem, and I tell them my online class schedule so they know if I lock my door, or it means I'm in learning process, and I'm grateful to have a supportive family. And the next challenge is internet connection, of course. Probably this is the common challenge that face in online learning, but it not always happen to me, but only happens sometimes for me, like this time. There are my friends that need to go out from their house to get the good connection, and I'm lucky that I do not learn math in my department. But imagine my friend who learn math like counting lesson will feel difficult if the connection is unstable. They will miss some important point and confused because there is no whiteboard in front of them, right? And they don't know what kind of counting that being calculated at that time, and it's a little bit more difficult for them to absorb the lesson. And for internal challenges, maybe it's about my learning motivations, because sometimes I feel bored to learn by myself. I think it's about the culture, because here, togetherness is a culture. Learn together with my friend is really enjoyable, but in this pandemic situation, online learning is the only way we can do. And I try to keep my motivation up by taking up by taking a break between learning time. And another challenges is laziness, because I feel my most comfortable place is home, and I do believe everyone feel the same. Because this before this pandemic, home is a place to take a rest, but right now, home becomes a place to study too. And I think that's why the laziness comes when I learn or study at home. And I want to believe that it is normal, right? And it's okay as long as I can rise from my laziness. And moreover, I think technological literacy also become a challenge for some Indonesian students. There are some students who don't know about how to use technology. For example, some of them are lack of knowledge about how to use computer or another media for online learning. But fortunately, I did not face this problem. I think that's my opinion about the challenges. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Azizah. All right. Well, family and internet connection, there are a few things. Well, learning at home, right? Learning at home is indeed a different environment compared to face-to-face learning. Okay, thank you, Azizah, for sharing with us the challenges that you have faced so far. Okay, we shall move on to our next question. Okay, Allia. Okay, how about you, Allia? Okay, how does online learning affect you as a student? For example, your overall academic performance, mental health, physical health, etc. Mind to share your opinion on this?
Yes, of course, of course. So first of all, thank you for the question again. I think online learning has surely affected me as a student. Of course, it does affect me. In terms of academic performance, I think I'm doing quite good in the meantime, in a good state, of course. Not only me, but my friends too. I noticed that our grades are better than before. I think it's because we have very good, better flexibility in terms of online classes, because you could always rewatch the videos, you could always rewatch the lectures that the instructors provided, and this actually helped me a lot because I have short-term memory. But unfortunately, in terms of mental health, I think it has affected me badly, especially during the early days of adapting to online classes. Having less social interactions gives me the feeling of social anxiety and pressure. It also brings me to the point where I had a very hard time concentrating and staying focused in class. And since I have experienced few mental breakdowns due to online classes, I could say that your mental health is connected to your physical health as well. This is because I noticed that whenever I feel stressed out, I would just lay in bed and I would not have the energy to do anything. But now that I have experienced online classes for almost 3 semesters, I think I feel like I could get back on track. I feel like I could finally adapt with it, and my mental health is improving day by day now, along with my physical health. Um, I think that's all. I think that's how online classes has affected me so far. Thank you.
Allia? Allia?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Did
Is that
you
all?
answer the question? Yeah. Does it clarify? Does it answer the question?
Yeah, okay, all right. Yes. Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you, Allia. Right. Thank you, thank you for sharing with us your your response just now. Okay. All right. We shall move. Okay. We shall move to the last question of this panel discussion. Okay. This question is to be answered by all speakers here. Okay. All right. Well, since you're almost out of time. Okay, in 1 minute, what advice would you like to give to all students out there when dealing with online learning? Can we have Selvi to respond first? Or Allia? Tasnin?
Hello, can you see me? In my
Alright, Tasnin would like
opinion,
to Allia. Okay,
my
Tasnin,
advice
yeah, please.
for my advice for all students, no matter who you are or where you are, always have self-discipline, but remember to take a break. Self-discipline is the most important thing because it forces us to get up and do work, no matter how you are feeling. But taking a break also helps us to balance out our play and work. So you won't feel as burdened as you are when you're always only studying. Remember that there is more to life than your studies, although it is quite important.
Yes, Tasnin? Is that all? How about you, Allia? What advice would you like to give to the students out there?
My advice to students that are facing challenges with online learning is, I think the most thing that is important in online learning is manage your time wisely. You could have to-do lists to keep on track on your goals, on things that you have achieved. And don't forget to take rest, take breaks in between classes, get something to snack on, just something to keep you motivated, just something to keep you energized. And if you're struggling, please seek help from the right platform, your family members, your friends, or someone you feel comfortable enough to talk to. That's what I can advise to everyone who's struggling with online classes. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Allia. Okay, Selvi. Selvi, can you hear me? Selvi, what advice would you like to give to all students out there when dealing with online learning?
So my advice
Yes, Selvi.
are actually really simple. You just please keep your mental health because I know this online learning is actually really stressing you out, and treat yourself better and don't try to multitask because it will confuse you. And I think that's it.
All right, thank you, Selvi. Azizah, how about you?
Yeah.
What advice would you like to give
Yeah.
to all
My
students out there?
advice for all students out there is First, this is an opportunity to become a more active student, start getting used to being intensively involved in lectures, and get enough rest so that when online learning starts, the body is in good condition, and don't postpone every assignment that given by your lecturer, because delaying it will make the assignment fill up and we are getting lazy to finish them. And I think it will be good if we build a good communication with lecturer and our friends, so that there are no difficulties when there is material that you want to ask outside the classroom. And carefully prepare everything needed for online learning activities, such as your gadget and others. And I can suggest that you can use your social media to learn also, because I think, for example, in YouTube, you can use YouTube, because I think right now in YouTube there are a lot of content that about education that related to your education, and I think they make the content or material more creative. And based on my experience, I learned from YouTube, and I don't feel bored while I'm watching the video about the material or education, because they are creative on making a good video. So I think, yeah, I can suggest you to use your social media and just find a good place for you, a comfortable place for you to learn, because remember that your learning right now is about your future, and do better and you will get better. So I think that's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Azizah, for answering the question just now. Okay, thank you very much to all the panel speakers. It is indeed enlightening. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this wonderful sharing by our speakers today. Now we have come to the question and answer session. Our speakers today will answer some questions that were sent to us during the panel discussion just now. So let us get right into it with our first question. The first question is from Nur Atika. The question is, during online classes, we cannot avoid the issues about mental health because there is so many stress going on here and there. So what's your opinion on this issue, and what can we do to manage our mental health? Okay, Azizah, could you please respond to this question, please?
Okay, thank you for the questions. I will try to respond it well. I think
Yeah.
if it is about mental health, I think it
Mental
comes
health, yeah.
Yeah, it comes because of there are a lot of assignment that comes every day, and it makes our mental health is like
True.
we are under pressure every day, and because of the assignment. And I think what can we do is try to find someone who can share with you, do a sharing with you, and don't take the problem by yourself, because I think sharing is the better way to make your mental really good, because by sharing you can get another opinion by others, and maybe you can clear your mind by sharing with others. And yeah, that's what we can do in because about mental health. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Azizah. Okay. The second question is from Harissa Iris Abdul Ghani. How can I keep my friends motivated and realize that learning is still an important even during quarantine or when our tests being delayed every year? Selvi? Selvi, would you like to respond to this question here? Selvi? Selvi, how about you, Tasnin?
Yes.
How about you,
I'm
Tasnin?
listening.
How can, this is actually a question from Harissa Iris. How can I keep my friends motivated and realize that learning is still an important even during it's still important even during quarantine or when our tests being delayed every year? What is your opinion about this? Howard?
Well, in my opinion, you can motivate them by encouraging them to always learn for knowledge and not just because of your tests. Because no matter how many tests you go through, your knowledge is the most important thing that will bring you forward in life. That is what you hold on to when you go on into the workspace. You don't look at books anymore when you're at work. You cannot just review them anytime you need to do your work. Of course you can review them, but it's not the same. You don't always have the answers to them. So make taking in knowledge a priority instead of just learning for your tests. And remind them that all of our paths are different. You may take longer than others, but it doesn't mean that you won't succeed in the end. Sometimes that time you take is more valuable than rushing it forward without enjoying it. So always think of the future ahead and what you want, and do not give up because there is so much more to than just studying for a test. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tasnin. Next question. Okay. Our next question is for Allia. What did you do to overcome the challenges you faced with online learning?
Okay, so to be honest, there are a lot of challenges that I have faced during online learning, but I think the most important thing in online learning is managing your time. You have to manage your time wisely. Time management is the most important factor in online learning, and I will identify the factors that can affect my timings, such as distractions. I will also create to-do lists to tackle each task and keep on track of goals that I want to achieve. And not to forget, whenever I feel down or I feel demotivated, I will seek help from my family members and friends, especially um, to like let things out, to let everything out, to let my feelings of disappointment, demotivation, and things like that to my friends, because they usually understand better because they are also facing challenges in online learning and whatnot. So I think that is how I deal with challenges during online learning. Thank you very much for the question.
All right, thank you so much, Allia. Okay, this is the last question, okay, uh, for this session. Selvi, 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 are you there? Azizah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right, Azizah, this question is for you. This question is from Muhammad Zahid. The question is, some students may not participate in the ODL class. In your opinion, what is the reason lead to this issue? Students' participation.
Oh, this is about students' participation in online class?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they really
Yes,
want to
yes,
participate
yes.
because, but they can't participate because here in University of Pahlawan, there are a lot of students that comes from a far area that, and they don't have a good internet connection. They want to participate in the class, but they cannot participate because of the internet connection, because there are a lot of area here around University of Pahlawan that doesn't have a good internet connection. Maybe that's it makes them hard to participate in every class that they have. Maybe that's the reason, I think. Thank you for the questions.
All right, thank you, Azizah. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we have come to the end of the session. We would like to say thanks to all the speakers for sharing with us your perspective on online learning in the global context. It is indeed a pleasure to have you here with us. We would like to apologize for any inconvenience caused throughout the session. With that, this marks the end of the session. I will hand over the session to Ms. Fatin. Over to you, Fatin.
Thank you so much, Dina. To our speakers, Miss Selvi, Miss Azizah, Miss Tasnin, Miss Allia, and also Miss Sophia, thank you so much for taking out your busy schedule to be with us today. It has been indeed a full and an eye-opening session for us. Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate your willingness to be here with us throughout the session, despite the technical issues that we faced at the beginning of the session. As the representative of the webinar committee, I will sincerely apologize on that matter again. Now, I would like to request everybody to turn on your camera for a photo session. All right. Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think one more time. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, before I end the session, I would like to remind all participants to fill in the feedback from form or scan the QR code for e-certificates and training hours. Till we meet again, Assalamualaikum and have a good day. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, but to all speakers, can we take a picture once again?
Oh, all right. All right.
Because I cannot see Selvi's face, Miss Selvi's face, and also Madam Dina's face.
Okay.
And Sophia and Tasmin as well. Sophia, can you please turn on your camera?
Okay, everybody.
Is it possible for all the APB to have their camera on?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I forgot the camera.
So I think we are not allowed to have our camera on.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Kak. Okay, how we are. Try to fix that. Can you now? Kak Syah?
Okay, I'm in now. Yes, I'm in. What about the rest? The rest is still around. Let's move the log out.
Audience from Indonesia.
Yeah.
I don't think there are a lot of people here. Can we just take the photos? I think like can we ask
Yeah.
can we ask Selvi
We'll
to
just take the
actually
photos,
turn
yeah?
on the camera? Good.
Yeah, Miss
Selvi, can you turn on your camera?
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay, Kak Dina, Kak Dina.
It's Dina. Dina.
Oh, Moderator. All right, 1, 2, 3. Once again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. Congratulations to all. Okay, so all the panelists, you all did very well. Where is Sophia? Sophia is not around, yeah? Yeah, but
Ada. Sophia is here.
Oh, Sophia is here.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Selvi, Azizah, Sophia, Tasnin, Allia, yeah? You all have done a great job. Okay, and congratulations to Fatin and Dina, okay, for handling the webinar very well. So, and of course, congratulations to Bella, who are the background people, okay, for the WebEx and the YouTube. Okay, and congratulations to all APB and University Pahlawan. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sheha.
You're welcome. Okay,
And-
hi Vitri.
Oh, this is me, Nila. I'm using Fitri's WebEx.
No wonder I saw Vitri. Oh, now I see you. Now I see
Sorry.
you.
Thank you, yeah, I didn't rename this.
And your camera was not on, so I thought it was Vitri. Yeah, sorry. So hi, Mrs. Nila. So how are you?
I'm doing fine.
How are
We
you?
are very sorry for this inconvenience.
Don't
Hi.
worry, I think these things will come up. Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
so
we really
something
hope
that we just don't have control on.
Yeah.
Hi,
Dr. Zainul.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Okay, fine. Okay, can you please send our regards to your rector and all the team to at University Pahlawan there? Okay,
Yes, I
so we
will.
really appreciate it. So inshallah, okay, we are in the last steps of signing the MOU, inshallah, very okay soon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to extend our apology. Actually, our students now are having final exam We
Yeah,
have
okay.
already spread the words about the webinar, but unfortunately, they could not attend this. But I do believe that later, if we
Yeah.
have another event, for sure, we will
Yeah.
have them with us.
Right, thank
Yeah.
you. So, so I understand it, because this is final exam time, so there's no problem at all. Don't worry about it. So, like you said,
Yeah.
in the coming events, we can actually work better. So, I have to apologize for some of the technical glitches that happened throughout the webinar. So, please convey my, my apologies.